All I know is she's OP. So pretty sweet attack, 15 and 62. That's, you know, it's definitely on the better side. Solid HP. So you want to be building her a little tankier for sure. Her defense 657. That's average. Her speed is 128. That's on the faster side for sure. Yeah, that's on the faster side. So Triple Raider comes to mind. For anybody that doesn't know, by the way, I feel like this is a new addition to the game, but we can also check this guide section if we're just curious what people are building her in, because this always gets updated. I'm not sure if it's weekly or monthly, but the recommended sets here does get, and let me hold on, let me get rid of this header real quick just so we can do this little tutorial. So this gets updated regularly just based off of what people are using on her. Obviously it's probably not accurate right now because she was just released, but for anybody wondering, like, what are people using on her? Check this out. It's super clutch. It's this guide button right here, bottom right. It also shows gear statistics. Once this gets updated, once she's been out for long enough, they'll put it out. What sets are people using her on? What main stats are people using for the boots, the rings, the necklaces? This is a sweet addition that I feel like a lot of people don't really touch up on. Gotta make use of your resources for sure. Formation statistics, obviously she's not been out long enough, but definitely check this out for sure. Maybe you have a really strong friend, you want to see like, hey, what are they using? What are the substats they're focusing on? There you go. Make sure you're using her. Make sure you're using these resources as much as possible. I just feel like a lot of people sleep on this addition. Honestly, if I were Ace, I would even go one step further and start putting content creator guides in here too as well. So maybe a content creator section or like a media tab, just add that on there for any creator that does a guide on this hero. Put the link in there, it'll link you in there, or maybe even just have the video play in game. I don't know, whatever's easier, but I feel like that could be possible. I've seen it in Infinite Magic Raid. So yeah, there's that. Let's take a look at her ultimate. So she deals single target damage, 240 on a 3-turn cooldown, so not too shabby. Gains 1 rage, so she has a rage feature. Then removes a target from the battle until the end of the next round. So this is insane CC. Let me repeat that once again. Removes the target from the battle until the end of the next round, ignoring all positive effects on them. So if they have immunity buff, bye immunity buff. She doesn't even care about it. I feel like that's kind of broken. I feel like a immunity should counter this, or there should be something to counter this, because if they just keep releasing these heroes that have none counter, or they just completely ignore resistance, all that kind of stuff that you can build to counter against, we're just gonna be in like an insane power creep era. I don't know. If the target has no allies and thus... Okay, so if there's no allies, they cannot be removed from battle. That makes complete sense. And this ability is also going to ignore 100% of their defense. So wow, she's going to be one-shotting people. And if she's not one-shotting them, they're going to be removed until the end of the next round. So if she's not one-shotting Dark Hazel, I'm definitely going to be using her as a Dark Hazel counter. Then he's going to be bye-bye. He can't get his revive off. Hopefully you can get enough burst back to kill him once he's back in the round. But let's take a look at her passive as well. So before taking area damage, gains damage reduction. Okay, 30% damage reduction is always good, and speed up for 2 turns. So before taking an AoE, so I'm thinking Dark Orc, Light Nick, maybe there's twins in there. She's gonna buff herself up. Also launches a counterattack with the basic ability and applies a defense down 2. It's upgraded to defense down 2 if you do book it, but it is defense down 1 unbooked to the target for 2 turns, 1 round cooldown. So she will be able to activate this once every round. I don't know, this is pretty good. This gives her some more mitigation. Once again, she does have a high base HP, so you do maybe want to take advantage of that and maybe build her bruiser, little tankier. But she's also going to be one-shotting people still, because 100% ignore defense, you cannot sleep on that. With a solid multiplier as well, 240, with solid base attack. So far, she's looking really good, guys. Basic deals 110% damage to an enemy, removes 1 positive effect on the target, cannot be What is this hero? This is just complete power creep. Cannot be resisted. Wow, cannot be resisted. You cannot. I assume that you can't cleanse this CC as well on her ultimate as well. So there's not a lot of counters for her that I'm thinking, unless you know you just outspeed her with Alessi and sniper or controller up or do something like that. But on her basic, once again, if the target has no positive effects, launch a bonus attack with the basic ability. So if they don't have any buffs, she's gonna do 2 basic abilities. This is also gonna give her rage, which I assume the rage is gonna help or add up in the traits. So upon reaching 3 rage, replaces the basic ability with You're Out. So let's take a look at what You're Out is. So You're Out deals 150% damage to an enemy that plus true damage equal to 15% of the target's max HP. So this hero is also going to be good in PvE, guys. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, this hero is also going to be really good in PvE. So Rift of Chaos, maybe some gear dungeons, probably anywhere, honestly. Also steals 1 positive effect from them. So remember, this is a steal 1 positive effect, and then the unupgraded version for her basic ability is remove positive effect. So that's kind of nice. Once you get 3 rage, you're going to get this ability, and it does seem pretty solid. If the target has no positive effects, applies stun that cannot be resisted to them. Once again, a lot of unresistible things. So she's gonna fulfill a crowd control DPS role. How do you guys feel about that? It feels like she has 2 kits in one almost. Her base stats are very healthy. The upgraded ascension, which I don't really feel like is necessary, is just going to, once you hit 3 rage, you're automatically going to launch a bonus attack with the You're Out ability. I don't feel like that's necessary at all. Maybe if you're trying to go for max damage records in Guild vs Environment or Guild Boss, you might go for it, but I don't really see this being insanely useful in short battles. Definitely more so for longer battles. And it, you know, it might help you out if you do have like if you aren't quite hitting the DPS threshold in Rift of Chaos or something like that. This might help you out a little bit. But remember, A5 is quite the investment. I don't really think it's necessary. And then for her masteries, let's take a look at her masteries, okay? Let's take a peek at her masteries. So she does get 15 speed on the physique. That's nice. Once again, really sealing her speedy role, at least in my opinion, for PvP. And then she does get True Strike here on the abilities. I'm not a fan of True Strike just because it's, you know, it's kind of limited to just PvP. You're only getting value from it in arena, RTA, and then, you know, guild battles. Anywhere else, you don't get value, so you're gonna have a different build. I don't know, I might just be biased, or I might just be a lazy gamer, but I'm not a crazy fan of True Strike. It is nice because it does free up that crit rate, right? For anybody that doesn't know, if you do have a True Strike upgrade on a hero, you do only have to build for 60% crit rate, which is kind of nice. They're either going to crit or they're going to True Strike. True Strike does ignore some defense, so there are some perks to True Strike, which allows you to, you know, build for speed, resistance, more crit damage, more HP, etc., etc. But I would definitely have preferred seeing like crit rate or attack percent here. But it is what it is. So there are her masteries. Let's see what her glyphs upgrade to as well. True Strike, you gotta have 2 builds. Yeah, dude, that sucks. That does suck. Here, let me catch up on chat. Sorry, I'm trying to make this as palpable as possible for a video. By testing on Rock, her ult does less than Hunwoo, but the boss's shield is 9. Oh, okay. Is she? I've seen she's viable though, Nai. I've seen she's a viable DPS. Ebola Zombie, what's going on, man? How you been? Wait, Ebola, are you from Raid? I remember Ebola Zombie from Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, I've kind of figured Nai with True Strike heroes, I kind of just aim for like a sweet spot, like 6k attack, and then filling in some HP, I try not to go over like 350 crit damage on True Strike heroes. Maybe even just 300, or honestly 250. I've seen a lot of people just hitting that 250 crit damage and then, you know, 60 crit rate, going for the bulky side on Aliz at least. It definitely helps for bruisers. I think, I mean, it looks like from her base stats, they're trying to tell us to build her on that tankier side, so I don't really see anything crazy wrong with it. Yeah, I don't really see any. I just would have liked to see crit rate or attack percent, to be honest. Would have been nice. But here her glyphs as well. She gets 31. Holy cow, she gets a lot of speed from glyphs. For a reference, guys, just a reference. Here is Ricky Boy. He's also on the faster side. Where's he at? Where's he at? Oh, right here. Glyphs. He's got a similar, actually a little lower than her base speed, but it is what it is. His glyphs give 29 speed, and I would consider his glyphs giving on the higher side for the speed bonus. So she just gives a crap ton of speed here. 31 is great. I wonder how fast can we get her with the what's her A1? It was attack percent? A2 is speed though, so really I don't even think you need A3 probably. If you are spending, if you are trying to summon for her, I would say you could stop at A3. You're fine. Because you could take advantage of her high base HP. You could also get this speed upgrade, and then her attack bonus does help a little bit.